Good evening, everybody. It is Steve Lookner with Agenda Free TV. I have decided to come on the air because we have an interesting political event to show you. Former President Trump is about to address the Libertarian Party Convention. Not sure what kind of reception he will get there. Some libertarians are not supporters of former President Trump. Some are. So decided to bring this to you because we do have some video of it. So we're going to check out what this is. Should be interesting. Let me just see also. They were playing music before, so I can't play the audio while the music's on. Let me see if the music's still playing. Give me a second here. Let's see. Yeah, there's still music. So, anyways, it's rare for a major presidential candidate to address a third-party convention. So again, I thought it just seemed like an interesting event to me, and we had video available. So I thought we would do a stream on it. We'll have to see what happens. But I don't know how the crowd reaction is going to be. I've seen some reporting that says there's some non-libertarian Trump supporters there, as well as libertarians. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. addressed the convention yesterday, but Trump is about to go on there and do it. So we'll have to see. It's been pretty rowdy there, so I think you might hear some crowd reaction here during the actual speech. But again, we had video of it. It's not, I don't show a lot of just like sort of the regular campaign speeches, but this is kind of an extra interesting one because it's at the Libertarian Party Convention. And there's going to be some people who don't support him in the audience. I know that. So anyways, we're about to see it via Reuters. AP, I was reading an Associated Press article which said that this is part of Trump's outreach to constituencies that normally might not be that supportive of him. AP also reports that he is expected to go after Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And Libertarians tomorrow will pick their White House nominee. RFK Jr. Addressed the Libertarian Convention yesterday. And so Trump is about to address it. So again, it's quite a raucous audience there. I had my eye on it before, and it's a pretty loud audience. So I actually think it might be an interesting thing to see what the audience reception is to him and how this all goes. Now, let me just see, do we have... I can't play if there's music. There's not going to be music when he's actually speaking, but let me just see what the audio is like right now. Give me a second. Yeah, they're playing copyrighted music right now, so when he comes out and the copyrighted music stops, we will definitely have live coverage for you. Let me get the little lives thing up there too. Oops, it is... This is Washington, D.C. All right, so let me get this on the screen here. Let me put up the live thing. Libertarian Party... Oh, sorry. Washington, D.C. All right, I think I got it. Oops. There we go. The New York Times says the Libertarian Convention is perhaps as befits a group devoted to individualism, often a raucous affair. And also the New York Times says Trump may face a crowd of hostile libertarian voters tonight. Many say they plan to jeer him or otherwise protest his presence. However, I believe that there are some Trump supporters who are not libertarians in the audience. The New York Times also says says that there's outrage in the Libertarian Party, which is an anti-government party. They don't like Trump's handling of the pandemic, and because under his watch, the most severe lockdowns and mask mandates were imposed. That's according to the New York Times article. AP article says that Trump's campaign says his appearance is part of an ongoing effort to reach would-be supporters in places that are not heavily Republican. For example, he held a rally recently in the Bronx, New York. The AP also purports that there are some Trump supporters there who are not libertarians, who have shown up to support him. All right, so we're waiting for him to talk. Again, it could be a bit of a raucous affair. I don't usually cover like normal campaign speeches, but this seemed like a particularly interesting event. So we're bringing you live coverage of this. We're going to see what happens with it. So again, I found out I had video of this, and I figured we'd cover it. Let's see here. We have, and I want to say something a little else. Libertarian Party, according to Wikipedia, promotes civil liberties, non-interventionism, laissez-faire capitalism, and limiting the size and scope of government. The Libertarian Party, I think was it 2016 they got 3%? According to Wikipedia, they have about 700,000 members in the Libertarian Party. Look, this could be a very close election. We could have Trump and Biden could be very close in a number of states. So if libertarians favor Trump or Biden or somebody else, that could have a big difference. That could make a big difference. Yes, Gary Johnson, Libertarian candidate, won about 3% in 2016. And in 2020, the Libertarian candidate, I think, got about 1%. Yes, in 2020, the Libertarian Party got, do I have it right here? Yes, Joe Jorgensen was the Libertarian nominee. And hold on, I want to get you the exact number here. Where is it? Joe Jorgensen got almost 2 million votes. The Libertarian candidate in 2020 got almost 2 million votes. He's supposed to speak at any moment now. At any moment now, he's going to speak. He's the next speaker. Again, Libertarians are picking their White House nominee tomorrow. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. addressed the convention yesterday. This is traditionally known as a pretty raucous crowd. It was raucous during the previous speaker, so it could be an interesting crowd during this speech. Associated Press says before Trump spoke, which is coming up, Libertarian delegates endorsed a variety of topics they hoped he would address, including calls to liberate imprisoned WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange and promote peace, not war. Other topics they want to hear about overlapped with the more traditional Republican rallying cries, including abolish the deep state and defend the Second Amendment. There's also some controversy in the Libertarian Party over Trump having been invited. New York Times says the party's decision to invite Trump to an event where libertarians will select their own nominee has prompted acute outrage among some members. They say it undermines the party's integrity and gives a platform to a candidate who is in many ways utterly at odds with their beliefs. So we will have to see what happens. A Libertarian Party spokesman said, "We hope it will be polite, but I doubt it will be quiet during this speech." So he is supposed to come out at any moment now. Let me real quick make sure. Ooh, I think there's no music. I think I can play the audio. We might have, if music happens, I'm going to have to temporarily, there might be music when he walks out. If there's music when he walks out, then I have to cut the music until he starts speaking. You guys hearing that? Are you hearing that? You're getting some crowd noise now? Oh, hold on. They're playing music now. They started playing music again. I got to turn it off. I can't have it on when the music is going. Let me get you some more background here. Politico says Trump could face a hostile crowd here. Politico says Trump won't be speaking to his usual self-selected crowd of adoring fans. Some delegates who are angry he is speaking there and plan to protest. Multiple articles I've said are saying that Trump is concerned, both Trump and Biden are concerned that they could lose votes to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. So I've seen multiple articles suggest that one reason Trump would be speaking here is he wants to try to get some libertarian votes that might otherwise go to, say, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. All right, so anytime he's supposed to speak, and let me just see if they're still playing music there. Yeah, I'm still hearing music, but this is a pretty raucous crowd. I was listening to some of the speaker before, and it's a pretty raucous crowd, so it could be quite interesting. Yes. So I guess some, from what I understand, some libertarians don't think they should have invited Kennedy or Trump to speak there. I don't know who the leading candidates are for the actual Libertarian nomination this year. I'm not up to date on that. I should be, but I'm not. No one is speaking right at the moment. I think Mike Lee just spoke right before this. I believe it was Mike Lee speaking before this, Senator Mike Lee. So we are waiting for him to speak. Fox News has a headline that says Trump courts libertarians to draw party activists away from RFK Jr. Fox says that Trump is speaking at this convention in an effort to win over activists who are skeptical of Trump and turn them away from Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who's an independent candidate. And they also say that Trump's appearance here is part of his ongoing effort to reach would-be supporters in places that are not heavily Republican. Oh, guys, so according to Fox News, the Libertarian Party has routinely invited both Republican and Democratic candidates to speak, but this weekend marked the first time an invite has ever been accepted. So I believe this is the first time ever a major party candidate has addressed the Libertarian Party Convention. Okay? That's according to Fox News. They say tensions were high leading up to Trump's appearance. Again, this is a raucous crowd. At least it was raucous for the previous speaker. It is known as a raucous crowd. We don't normally cover regular campaign appearances by Trump or Biden or RFK Jr., but this seemed like kind of an extra interesting one. With an interesting crowd that certainly is not expected to be all pro-Trump. So wanted to bring you coverage of it, just out of interest. And a number of articles have said that some people are expected to jeer Trump from the crowd. NBC News says if the crowd last night is any indication, Trump could be facing a hostile crowd tonight. Last night, Vivek Ramaswamy was booed during his convention remarks when he mentioned Trump. Let me see if they're still playing music there. I would have the audio on, but... Oh, hold on. I think we can play a little audio because no music for the moment. Let's try this. Okay, I think you guys can hear it. You guys can hear that, right? No music? I'm not hearing music at the moment. Are you hearing music? Hey, thanks to Bill Fisher for the memberships. I appreciate that, Bill Fisher. Again, thanks to Bill Fisher for the membership. I appreciate that, Bill, for the memberships. Thank you to all of our moderators who are here as well. Really appreciate it. Let me thank our moderators. Linda Belk is here, RJ. Sorry, I didn't even realize we were going to cover this, but I saw it and I thought it was interesting. Hang on a second here. Kay Lowry Body, Christina Neal are also moderating. Thank you to them. I want to thank our Twitch moderators too. Thanks also Ken Baylor, who says, shout out to Comic Freak and Jill. Thanks Ken Baylor and Trexit Raider for your support. Also, thanks to our Twitch mods, I Got That Fire, Sarah, and Papa Bear. All right, so again, former President Trump is about to address the Libertarian Party Convention. It is known as a raucous crowd. As far as I'm aware, they are not going to endorse him for president, and many in the party oppose him. As I understand it, he is the first major party candidate to address a Libertarian convention. They've been around, I think, since 1971. Yes, they were founded in 1971. They have about 700,000 members. In the 2020 election, they got about 1.8 million votes, or 1% of the election of the voters. They got 3% in 2016, and a number of reports say that Trump is concerned that a number of libertarians might vote for Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who spoke at the convention yesterday, and a number of reports say that he wants to try to win over some of those.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Angela McArdle, Chair of the Libertarian National Convention.
All right, listen to this.
Loud, loud, loud.
What a beautiful crowd.
Are you ready?
Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. You know, I also invited Joe Biden, and he did not attend. We have an incredible opportunity tonight, and I'm really grateful for it. Never in the history of the Libertarian Party has a former president and front-runner candidate for the presidency come to speak specifically to our concerns. Thank you all for making history with us. I want to continue this trend, so let's work towards that. I really appreciate you all. And without further ado, I would like to welcome to the stage the 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
All right, now I have to, they're playing Proud to Be an American, the song, so I have to wait until they stop playing the song, okay? I gotta wait till they stop playing the song. As soon as the song stops, I will play it again. But they're playing the song right now. So I can't have the music on. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I gotta be careful with the music, okay? So as soon as the song stops playing, as soon as the song stops, I will put him on. But I can't play the Proud to Be an American song. Copyrighted music. Yeah, so you can hear it. When I try to play, it's loud music. So as soon as the music stops, we will get the audio. All right? Yeah, I mean, when I try to listen, it's just loud music. So you're not missing him speaking yet. We will have him speaking. All right. You can hear it's quite a raucous audience. Yeah, you can't even hardly hear the audience right now because of the music. All right. At any moment, the song will stop and we'll go live to Trump and we'll hear his audio. Yeah, I mean, it's very loud music. I can't play the music. Look, that's just the way it is. So as soon as the song ends, he is standing there waiting. Again, this is the first time a major party presidential candidate has accepted the Libertarian Party invitation to speak. Hey, thanks to Rock K9, our new member, and our new member Star, Dodger Blue, Gary Eckert, Lee Sweet, Texit Raider, and others. Are they still playing the music? Let's see. Yeah, they're still playing the music. He's standing there, the music's playing. It should be a pretty raucous crowd there. And again, you know, we don't cover every campaign event, but this seems like a particularly interesting one. So figured we'd give you some coverage. All right, is the music ending? Here we go.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much, everybody, and thank you, Angela, for that introduction. And I am truly honored to be invited here tonight as the first president in American history to address the Libertarian National Convention. Great honor. A lot of people ask why I came to speak at this Libertarian Convention, and you know, it's an interesting question, isn't it? But we're going to have a lot of fun. Well, in the last year, I've been indicted by the government on 91 different things. So if I wasn't a libertarian before, I sure as hell am a libertarian now. And unlike Joe Biden, I don't throw people in jail for disagreeing with me. I don't do that. I want to thank some people that have been really outstanding. And they are great libertarians and great people. Ambassador Rick Grinnell, Senator Mike Lee, Kash Patel, and Senate candidate who's going to win from Virginia, Hung Cao. I also want to pay our deepest respects to the two young missionaries from Missouri, Davy and Natalie Lloyd, that were viciously killed yesterday in Haiti. It was a horrible thing, and I just want to pay our respects to their families. They're great families, incredible people, and it's a very, very sad moment. What happened was so horrible. So to Davy and Natalie, please, thank you very much. I'd also like to express my gratitude to all the fierce champions of freedom in this room. You are champions of freedom. You are indeed. And I'm here to talk to you about the rise of left-wing fascism in the country and to need to defeat the corrupt and incompetent tyrant in the White House, crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of the United States. He is the worst president by far in the history of the United States. In fact, I would say that Jimmy Carter is very happy tonight because he goes down as being a brilliant president by comparison. Everyone here tonight believes that we must fight for the same fundamental freedoms: freedom of expression, freedom of religion, freedom of the right to own a firearm, and freedom over taxation. Oh, that was interesting. Then you're going to like me, firearm, you're going to like me. Nobody better than me. And we just got the full NRA, the strongest endorsement they've ever given the NRA, so that's good. Freedom from overregulation, freedom from government discrimination, and we believe that we do not have a free country if we do not have free speech, and very strongly believe that. We stand opposed to government tyranny in all of its many forms. We are opposed to a government that spies on political campaigns. I wonder who that might be. Like they did on me, spies on the American people, censors us, and crushes the rights of its own citizens, which the Biden administration does. We want government out of our business, out of our wallets, and out of our lives. That's what we want. We believe that Marxism is an evil doctrine straight from the ashes of hell. Having Marxism in our government is intolerable, and teaching it to our children is considered to us child abuse. We believe that the job of the United States military is not to wage endless regime change wars around the globe, senseless wars. The job of the United States military is to defend America from attack and invasion here at home. We believe that property rights are fundamental to a free society and that Joe Biden's rampant inflation is a monstrous theft from the American people. It's a theft. We believe that the greatest threat to our country is not from enemies abroad. It's the tyrants, communists, fascists, and thugs attacking our rights and liberties from within. And above all else, we live by the words of the great American patriot, Patrick Henry, give me liberty or give me death. Our rights and freedoms have never been more in danger than they are right now. That is why I have come to extend a hand of friendship to ask for your partnership to defeat communism, defeat Marxism, and defeat crooked Joe Biden, who is destroying our country. He's destroying our country. We can be libertarian or anything else. This man is destroying our country. Thank you. And by the way, why isn't Joe Biden here speaking to you tonight? You know why? Why isn't he? Because he can't put two sentences together. That's why he's not here. The fact is, we should not be fighting each other. If Joe Biden gets back in, there will be no more liberty for anyone in our country. Combined with us in a partnership, we're asking that of the Libertarians. We must work together. Combine with us. You have to combine with us. We cannot give crooked Joe Biden 4 more years. We cannot give crooked Joe Biden 4 more years. Today's radical left Democrat Party is not a Democrat Party of years ago, which still wanted big government, but at least believed in tolerance and free speech. Joe Biden's radical left Democrat Party is a fascist movement that wants to throw you in jail. If you post a meme they don't like, they want to throw you in jail if you do something that isn't quite to their liking. What you're witnessing under Biden is a toxic fusion of the Marxist left, the deep state, the military-industrial complex, the government security and surveillance services, and their partners, all merging together into a hideous perversion of the American system. And that's exactly what it is. The fact is that Joe Biden is a threat to democracy. My mission is to liberate our nation from these fascist frauds and to rescue our democracy, to restore our republic, and to evict crooked Joe Biden from the White House so that America can be a free nation once again. He's the worst in history. The Biden regime censors its critics, spies on its opposition, takes away the bank accounts of U.S. citizens as an extra form of punishment, persecutes Christians and patriotic parents, and is currently trying to put the leading candidate for president in jail. That happens to be me. While imposing a strict gag order in order to keep me from talking about their crimes and their unconstitutional acts. They want to get rid of the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, due process, the right to a fair trial, and the right to counsel, all the while pushing wealth confiscation and waging endless and unnecessary wars all over the globe. Anyone can talk about defending freedom, but I've actually put everything on the line to resist these despots and these stuff. And I stand before you tonight as your best hope of defeating the weaponized Biden and the very evil regime that his people, because it's probably not him because he doesn't know where the hell he is, but that his people are pursuing. You can make the difference. The Libertarian Party can make a big difference. The Libertarian Party can make a big difference. Together we can make America freer than ever before for citizens of all backgrounds and all walks of life. We can unleash new hope, optimism, and energy. We can release limited government so that the people can have an unlimited future. United, we will be unstoppable. If we unite, we are unstoppable. I will be a true friend to libertarians in the White House. And I am proud to be the only president in 70 years who started no new wars. I took on the military-industrial complex. I broke the stranglehold on neocons and warmongers on the Republican Party. And instead of war, I made peace in the Middle East, something nobody thought was possible, and dealt with Kim Jong-un of North Korea, where a nuclear war was guaranteed to start in a very short period of time if Hillary Clinton became president. You know, that would have been a nuclear war, 100%. And you would have never had the October 7th attack in Israel, would have never happened. And the attack in Ukraine by Russia would never, ever have happened. Wouldn't have happened. Hundreds of thousands and even millions of people would be living today. I unbound the United States from globalist agreements that surrendered our sovereignty. I withdrew from the Paris Accord. I withdrew from the anti-gun UN arms treaty. And I withdrew from the corrupt and very expensive World Health Organization. Not a good thing. I passed the most significant, and this is so important, but I passed the most significant criminal justice reform in history. And perhaps my proudest accomplishment is to have exposed the depth of corruption in the Washington swamp. Thanks to me, the entire world knows that the deep state is real, and the lamestream media is fake. It's fake. A great libertarian who may very well be in the room right now, I believe, but he's a great libertarian, D. Roy Murdoch, who I've become friends with through his writings in the American Spectator and numerous other places, wrote an article yesterday in which he mentions just some of the things that make me a libertarian without even trying to be one. That's nice. D. Roy wrote, Donald J. Trump will address the Libertarian Party and its national convention on Saturday. The Libertarian Party should nominate Trump for President of the United States. Whoa. That's nice. That's nice. Only if you want to win. Only if you want to win. Maybe you don't want to win. Maybe you don't want to win. Thank you, D. Roy. Thank you. No, only do that if you want to win. If you want to lose, don't do that. Keep getting your 3% every 4 years. The reasons for doing so, policy and politics, are as solid as the Hope Diamond. D. Roy says this. This event is very unprecedented, he said. As the Cato Institute president, Peter Gotler, observed in Thursday's Washington Post, it will be the first time in U.S., think of this, first time in U.S. history that a presidential candidate of a rival party will address the convention of a party that is presumably gathering to nominate its own candidate. Now I think you should nominate me, or at least vote for me, and we should win together. You heard those words. Nominate me or vote. Vote for me. Because the Libertarians want to vote for me, and most of them will. And it's very important. Because we have to get rid of the worst president in history. And together we will. And without it, there's a risk that we could have 4 more years. We won't have a country left. So what is the purpose of the Libertarian Party getting 3%? What is the reason to take a chance of having this horrible president destroy our country, which he will do in far less than 4 years? It's not going to take 4 years. That is why I'm committing to you tonight that I will put a libertarian in my cabinet and also libertarians in senior posts. Pretty good. That's pretty big. Or you can keep going the way you have for the last long decades and get your 3% and meet again and get another 3%. No, you want to make yourself winners. It's time to be winners. You have a lot of common sense. It's time to be winners. So I'm asking for the well, think of it. I'm asking for the Libertarian Party's endorsement, or at least lots of your votes, lots and lots of Libertarian votes, based on my 4-year, very outstanding presidential record. Much of my record is Libertarian. As an example, D-Roy, thank you. Hey, where is D-Roy? Is he here? D-Roy, where are you? He's great. I like D-Roy. I've liked him for a long time, and he is a libertarian. Thank you, D-Roy. Thank you. D-Roy wrote, the $1.5 trillion Tax Cuts and Jobs Act was America's largest infusion of tax release. That's the largest tax relief ever. It sliced individual tax rates for all taxpayers and slashed corporate tax rates from a punishing 35% to a globally competitive, and much more than that, only 21%, way down. It was the largest tax cut in the history of our country. Now you can like it or you don't have to like it. Immediate expensing of business equipment and other reductions fueled the best economy that our country has ever had. For 4 years, we had the best economy our country has ever had. Black and Hispanic unemployment reached the best levels in history. Female joblessness slid to levels unseen before. Black poverty collapsed to record lows. And all of the things, income inequality shrank, and it shrank at levels we've never witnessed. Between 2016 and 2019, real median household income grew. These were the Trump years. 16.4%, the highest ever, to almost $10,000 per family. Think of that. Number two, Trump cut red tape as never before. He promised to kill 2 old regulations for every new one. And in fact, he ended up actually scrapping 8 for 1. And he was going to 12 to 1 and doing numbers that were unbelievable. Thank you, D-Roy. D-Roy is, and I'm actually just quoting from the article that came out today from D-Roy Murdoch. He said, number 3, Trump fully restrained inflation. We had practically none. Prices were rising just 1.4% as he left office. And this was a fraction of the 9% inflation that lying Joe Biden repeatedly claims Trump handed him. No, he said we handed him. No, it went up to 9% after he took over the White House and created all the inflationary acts. He did a horrible job. The 30-year mortgage rate, as Trump departed, was 2.77% versus the almost 9% today. And you, by the way, even if you pay 9%, you can't get any money. There's no money available. Trump's drill, baby, drill approach fostered energy independence, which we've never had before. Low fuel and electricity prices helped moderate inflation and propel economic growth. But all of these things have now skyrocketed. They have skyrocketed to levels never seen. Inflation has hit us harder than it's probably ever hit us before, and people are suffering because of it. Trump promoted parental rights and school choice. Trump's education department repealed the so-called guidance letter that turned on-campus sexual harassment accusations into de facto criminal convictions. You know all about that. Who else would do that for you? Trump restored due process to the he said, she said minefield for your children. I know many, many people, what they've gone through with that is they've gone through hell. In a powerful blow, Trump required universities to respect the First Amendment lest they lose their federal funds. I said, you don't respect the First Amendment, we're taking away all of your federal funding. Trump torpedoed Obamacare's individual mandate and got rid of many of its taxes. medical price transparency, empowered consumers to shop for health care services and compare costs. And this is one of the biggest things that's happened, and it's reducing the price of drugs and everything related to drugs and medical care at levels not seen before. This will soon be happening. The competition is now slowing what were ballooning health care expenses. Trump signed right to try. Terminally ill patients now can receive experimental and possibly life-saving treatments. And when at death's door, what do these suffering Americans have to lose? What do they have to lose, you ask? They are so thousands and thousands of people are now living because of right to try. Trump nominated some 300 constitutionalist federal judges, a record, including a seldom seen 3 Supreme Court justices in one presidential term. Very rarely seen before, if ever. Trump canceled and defunded federal diversity, equity, and inclusion programs and other state-funded racism schemes. The VA Mission Act, which Trump signed, lets military veterans receive federally funded medical care in the private sector if delays prevent their treatment in VA hospitals. In other words, if they're delayed, they can go out and get a private doctor. We pay the bill. They go out, they get a private doctor, they get better. People were waiting online for 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, and not anymore. Trump signed a measure that streamlined dismissals of federal bureaucrats who abuse America's beloved veterans. He got NATO countries to pay hundreds of billions of dollars more for their protection. The only president who did so, and substantially reducing what we were forced to pay. We got them to pay, other nations to pay hundreds of billions of dollars that they weren't paying. No other president was able to do that, reducing very substantially what we paid. During the Trump administration, we had peace through strength, no wars other than the complete and total destruction of ISIS. And DeRoy ended by saying that most libertarians would say this is a non-exhaustive roster of accomplishments like no other, that it truly shines. So again, DeRoy, thank you very much. DeRoy Murdoch, I appreciate it. We could not have written that better. And as you say, there were many other things we did that were quite libertarian also. So I want to thank you very much. That was a great article. Thank you. DeRoy Murdoch, thank you. When I return to the White House, we will break the deep state grip on our democracy once and for all. I did far more than any other president in that regard. As an example, I inherited James Comey, a terrible, terrible person from the Obama administration. And very early on, I fired him and lots of others at the FBI, in addition to thousands and thousands of corrupt and unnecessary people throughout our government. And now we are going to finish the job. We will root out the sickness that has taken over our Justice Department, our FBI, and other agencies. Our goal will be nothing less than the rebirth of fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law. Since the day he took office, Joe Biden has worked to persecute political dissidents, including conservatives, Catholics, and other Christians and opponents of his weaponized state. Right now, the Biden DOJ is trying to put Christians in prison for 11 years for the crime of singing hymns. The moment I win the election, I will appoint a special task force to rapidly review the cases of every political prisoner who has been unjustly persecuted by the Biden administration, so that I can sign their pardons or commutations on day one. And I will ensure that libertarians are helping to lead that task force. You'll be on that task force, many of you. As everyone knows, it will be my great honor to pardon the peaceful January 6th protesters, or, as I often call them, the hostages. They're hostages. There has never been a group of people treated so harshly or unfairly in our country's history. This abuse will be rectified, and it will be rectified very quickly. And if you vote for me on day one, I will commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht to a sentence of time served. He's already served 11 years. We're going to get him home. We're going to get him home. I'm proud that I have put forward a detailed plan to smash the censorship and industrial complex and restore free speech. On day one, I will sign an executive order banning federal agencies from colluding to censor the lawful speech of American citizens. And we will remove the rogue bureaucrats who conspire to take away your First Amendment freedoms. We will do that quickly. I will once again slash a record number of liberty-destroying regulations. I will stop Joe Biden's plan for the largest tax. He is going to give you the largest tax increase in the history of our country. And I will end that. And I will make the Trump tax cuts the biggest in the history of our country. We will make them permanent tax cuts. We will also stop the massive Biden inflation tax, a stealth tax by which crooked Joe Biden is printing trillions and trillions of dollars and plundering it for the cronies and political friends that he's got all over Washington. And we will cancel the Green New Deal, which is the Green New Scam. It's a big scam. We will terminate Crooked Joe's insane electric vehicle mandate. And we're going to bring your energy costs down by 60 and 70% because we will drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill, baby, drill. We will eliminate illegal government discrimination and return to a society based on individual rights and individual merit. Thank you. And I will also stop Joe Biden's crusade to crush crypto. We're going to stop it. I will ensure that the future of crypto and the future of Bitcoin will be made in the USA, not driven overseas. I will support the right to self-custody to the nation's 50 million crypto holders. I say this with your vote. I will keep Elizabeth Warren and her goons away from your Bitcoin. And I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency. I will also immediately end the humanitarian disaster on our southern border. We will end it quickly. You cannot have capitalism and also have open borders because you will soon be turned into a socialist nation, then a poor nation, and finally you will be a failed nation. By ending the border crisis, which we will do immediately, we will save freedom, prosperity, and capitalism in America. And before I even arrive at the Oval Office, shortly after we win the presidency, I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine settled, so we quit spending hundreds of billions of dollars to fight other people's wars, and so that we start immediately saving thousands and thousands of lives. And I am committed to restoring peace and restoring stability and to stopping Joe Biden's march to World War III. You know you're being led right into World War III. You know that. You're going to have World War III, and it will be a war like no other because of the weaponry, the massive weaponry. It will be a war like no other. We will stop it. and I'm the only one that's going to be able to stop it. I will protect American sovereignty from the creeping hands of global government. And as we speak, Joe Biden's minions are in Geneva, secretly negotiating to surrender more of our liberty to the World Health Organization. Drafts of the agreement show that they want to subjugate America to foreign nations, attack free speech, empower the World Health Organization to redistribute American resources. They're going to take our money and send it all over the world to other countries that we need for our own citizens in the event of a pandemic, and it can happen again. I am hereby demanding that Joe Biden submit these monstrosities to the Senate as treaties. They have to be submitted as treaties because he cannot be allowed to do that, destroy our country. He is. If he does not, I will rip them up and throw them out on day one of the Trump administration. On education, we will cut federal funding for any school pushing Marxist and communist race and gender theories on our children. We will keep men out of women's sports. And I will not give 1 penny to any school that has a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate. We will shut down our out-of-control federal Department of Education and give it back to the states and local governments. I will return power to the states, local governments, and to the American people. I am a believer in the 10th Amendment. I will always defend religious liberty and the right to keep and bear arms. And I will secure our elections. So in conclusion, to every freedom lover here today, and there are a lot of them, and all across our land, I say, this is no ordinary election. Freedom itself is at stake. This will be the most important election in the history of our country. So if you want to strike a blow against the corrupt system in Washington, if you want to send a message to all of the people who want to take away your liberty, then right now, in this election, we need your help. We need your support. When I'm in the White House, you will always find an open door to the Oval Office. Together, we are taking on some of the most menacing forces and vicious opponents our people have ever seen. But no matter how hateful or corrupt the communists and criminals we're fighting are, and they are vicious and they are corrupt, you must never forget, this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you, belongs to you. This is your home, this is your heritage, and our American liberty is your God-given right. 2024 is our final battle. With your help, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers from our government. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists, Marxists, and fascists. We will throw off the sick political class that hates our country. And we will drain the swamp, and we will restore and rescue our country from these tyrants and villains once and for all. Ladies and gentlemen, the great liberation of America begins on November 5th, 2024. It will be the most important day in the history of our country, and the forgotten man and woman will be forgotten no longer. I want to thank you. I want your support. And again, you can either nominate us and put us in the position or give us your votes. I would say nominate or give us your votes, but we want libertarian votes because you stand for what we stand for, and don't waste a vote. And don't allow the worst president in the history of our country to come back and do the final destruction of America. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless you. God bless you.
All right, they're playing the music, so I got to turn off the music. Look, I told you we don't normally cover regular campaign speeches here, but I had heard that this was going to be a raucous crowd, so decided to cover this one. It was certainly an interesting crowd. We actually got to see a protester dragged out in the middle of the speech. We saw that. And you heard Trump telling people to not waste their votes, telling them they can vote, they can nominate him, or they can keep getting their 3% and losing. He was telling the Libertarians that. Anyways, so that was Trump. The first time a major party candidate has spoke at the Libertarian Party Convention. That was tonight. They always invite the major candidates. This is the first time he has agreed to, one of them has agreed to show up. And so figured we'd cover it. I think it was an interesting event. You know, it's not often you hear the candidates speaking in this kind of forum with that kind of crowd. So I thought it was an interesting event. And, you know, as I told you there was controversy among the Libertarian Party whether that he should have been invited or not. But he was asking for their nomination. I don't think they're going to nominate him, by the way. They're going to nominate somebody besides one of the major candidates. But he spoke there. So anyways, I want to take some of your comments. But again, you know, it's not, we don't normally cover, for us to cover like a campaign appearance, there's got to be something else about it, not just a regular campaign event experience. But I thought you guys might find this interesting. I found it interesting. I found it pretty interesting. It's kind of it's something different, you know? So, and people were asking, who is Ross, right? People said, who is Ross? So Ross is Ross Ulbricht. And Ross Ulbricht, says Wikipedia, is serving life imprisonment. He's an American serving life imprisonment for creating and operating the darknet market website Silk Road from 2011 until his arrest in 2013. The site operated as a hidden service on the Tor network and facilitated the sale of narcotics and other illegal products and services. And the FBI arrested Ulbricht in 2013. And in 2015, he was convicted of engaging in a continuing criminal enterprise, distributing narcotics by means of the internet, conspiracy to distribute narcotics, conspiracy to commit money laundering, conspiracy to traffic fraudulent identity documents, and conspiracy to commit computer hacking. And he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And if I heard him right, Trump said that on day one, didn't he say on day one he would pardon? Yes, I believe he said on day one he would pardon Ross Ulbricht. But that is what Trump said. Trump said on day one, if I remember that right. So anyways, actually, I wonder if I have the Justice Department statement about him. Yes, so this is, oops, sorry, let me just get this off the screen. Here is what the Justice Department had to say about Ross Ulbricht back in 2015. This is what the Justice Department said about him. They said that he was sentenced for his operation and ownership of Silk Road, a hidden website designed to enable its users to buy and sell illegal drugs and other unlawful goods and services anonymously and beyond the reach of law enforcement. They say the Justice Department said in 2015 that Ulbricht deliberately operated Silk Road as an online criminal marketplace intended to enable its users to buy and sell drugs and other illegal goods and services anonymously and outside the reach of law enforcement. The vast majority of items for sale on Silk Road, says the Justice Department, were illegal drugs, which were openly advertised as such on the site. As of 2013, September 23rd, the Silk Road homepage displayed nearly 13,000 risk listings for controlled substances. Anyways, they said that the narcotics distributed on Silk Road have been linked to at least 6 overdose deaths across the world. So, anyways, if you want to read this is the Justice Department statement on Ross Ulbricht when he was sentenced. But there were a lot of free Ross signs at that convention, people who want Ross Ulbricht freed. And so Trump did say during his speech that he said, I think he said pardon and not commute, but he said, if I remember right, he said on day one, he would pardon, he either said pardon or commute Ross Ulbricht. I'll put the link to this statement in the chat. I just put the link to the statement. I'll see if I can find out. I don't know what the time code was, but I bet I can get confirmation on the exact language he used. Yes, he would commute. Yes, he said commute and not pardon. Commute. That is what he said. He said he would commute the sentence, which means that he means that's the end of his jail term, right? Commute versus pardon. A pardon deletes the conviction. A commutation keeps the conviction, but deletes or lowers the punishment. So he would keep his conviction, but he would be let out of jail. So he said commute, just to be clear. Okay. Anyways, so again, that was the first time a major party candidate had spoke at a Libertarian Party Convention, which is normally pretty raucous. Got quite raucous when Trump told the people there that they shouldn't keep wasting their votes, as he called it, and keep getting their 3%. He said they should nominate and vote for him for president and be part of a winning team or something like that. Let's see. And yes, RFK Jr. spoke yesterday, as I said earlier. Let me take a few comments here. If you have comments. Oh, thanks to Grevin Cher for your support. Also, Joseph Whitlock, Mary Hodge, Strange and Scary New England, Rock K9. I want to take a few of your comments here. Let me just check my comment. I'll check the chat, and I will also... Joe Soul, our viewer, says, as a libertarian, I was neither impressed nor swayed from my dude Lars Mapstead. So that's who Joe is supporting. Joe says he's supporting someone named Lars Mapstead, who I know nothing about, for libertarian. Look, as I said to you, as I said earlier, the Libertarians got 1.8 million votes in 2020. So this could be a very close election. How Libertarians vote could determine the election. Norman asked about covering the Trump trial. I think we'll cover the Trump trial when a verdict is announced. When a verdict is announced, we'll cover that. We'll definitely cover the verdict. Cover the verdict. Let's see here. Oh, I might be able to replay his comment about Ross Ulbricht. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. Hang on a moment. Let me try to pull it up. One of our viewers said it was like 17 minutes ago. Is this it? Here it is. I found it. All right, I'm going to replay his comment when he said he was going to commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht. All right, let's take a look at this comment again. I have to get it up on the screen for you though. So give me a moment. I'm going to get it up on the screen. This is earlier. It's not live. It's earlier. So again, this is earlier. It's not live. This is from a few minutes ago. Oh, I'm going to remove the live from here. And let me just try to cue it up from where he said it. I'm sorry, you can't hear that. You couldn't hear it. Hang on. You couldn't hear that. Here we go. Let me play this. This is a couple minutes ago, a few minutes ago. This is what Trump said about Ross Ulbricht.
And if you vote for me on day one, I will commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht to a sentence of time served. He's already served 11 years. We're going to get him home. We're going to get him home.
At one point, Trump also said he promised that he would have a libertarian in his cabinet. That's what he said. He said he would have a libertarian in his cabinet, and I'm wondering something here. I'm wondering because, like, Rand Paul is a Republican, but I believe he has some libertarian views. So if could Trump like appoint Rand Paul to his cabinet and say, I appointed a libertarian? I don't know. Yeah. And again, I want to repeat, I don't normally show regular campaign appearances. You know, if there's a big campaign day, I might show like one Biden speech and one Trump speech. But tonight, this was a very interesting event. It was the first time that a major party presidential candidate was speaking to the Libertarian Party. It was a really raucous audience. So I just thought it would be an interesting thing to look at this. Is there a reason this is important? Well, aside from the fact that the leading candidate for the most powerful country's presidential position, the leading candidate in the election was speaking tonight at an event with a very raucous crowd. Also at an event where no other major party presidential candidate had addressed the Libertarian Party before. In what is expected to be a close election. Why is that important at all? I'm sorry. I mean, if you can't see why somebody would think that's important, I can't help you. So, anyways, you know. Bob Gable says, will the Dems change at the convention? No. No, Democrats are not picking a different candidate. They voted. The Democratic voters in the primary chose Joe Biden. So that's who's going to be their candidate. Thanks, Bob Gable. I appreciate the question, though. But no. The answer is no. There would have to be some kind of crazy thing, because as of right now, that's who the Democratic voters have chosen in the primary is Joe Biden. So that's who it's not like up to convention bigwigs. It's based on the primary vote. That's decades ago, it was up to the elite, the party operatives at the convention. It doesn't work that way anymore. Maybe there's some kind of technical way it can work, but the way it happens now is they have primary votes, and the primary votes determine who the nominee is going to be. Okay, let's see. And I will say, if Joe Biden speaks in the future at some campaign event where there's a really raucous crowd like that, and I have footage of it, we'll cover it. I promise you I'll cover it. They did invite, they always, I guess for the last, you heard the chairman of the party say that they invite the major party candidates every year, and they invited Biden. This year, he did not want to speak there. Okay. We'll take a few more comments here. But I thought it was interesting. It was also interesting seeing a protester get dragged out. William Tell says Rand Paul is the son of Ron Paul, who was the 1988 Libertarian candidate for president. Now, just because he's the son of somebody doesn't mean he shares their views. But Rand Paul, I know, he has some libertarian views. But he's not officially a libertarian. He's a Republican. Yes, Ron Paul, 1988, was the Libertarian candidate. Oops, as hold on, I got to show you here, as Wikipedia says. That's Ron Paul. All right. So, as we go forward, if there are other campaign events that I have video access to that are particularly interesting for some reason, I will certainly cover them. Okay. That guy, our viewer says, commuting the sentence of the founder of the most infamous dark web marketplace is not something that bodes well for his anti-drug, I think it's bona fides. That's from our viewer, that guy. That's what that guy says. Then, I mean, it did seem like a pretty, except there was some stuff that was tailored towards that audience, like saying like, you can either keep getting your 3% or vote for, or, choose me as your nominee. But a lot of it was kind of the boilerplate Trump speech. Most of it was the boilerplate Trump speech. Our viewer, Mr. Bigley, Huge and Tremendous, thinks that Trump probably won over a few votes for showing up. It's more than Biden won tonight. That's what he thinks, our viewer. April Coco thinks he will say or do anything he thinks will help him in the moment. As I mentioned, a number of articles say that they believe Trump went to speak there because he's concerned that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. may be cutting in on some of his votes, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. spoke there yesterday. But it's not often you see one of the major presidential candidates speaking with a raucous audience like that. It's quite interesting. I think it's interesting. Yes, J.C. Frazier. This is no major party candidate has addressed a Libertarian convention before. Firestar thinks Trump will get the same number of votes as before he made this speech. The speech will not change anyone's mind. Reuters did show the RFK Jr. speech, but I could show a few minutes of it. It was on last night. I think I can. I don't think I'm going to show the whole thing, though. I think it was like an hour long. Let me just make sure here. Let me look and see. If you want to watch a few minutes of last night's speech from RFK Jr., I think I have that. Yeah, let me see here. No, I cannot. I do not have that. I cannot show. I don't have rights to the video from last night. I had rights to the video from tonight, but I do not have the rights to the video from last night. I just checked it. It depends on who is covering it. So because of who the camera belonged to tonight, I could show it, but I am not allowed to show the one from last night. So I'm sorry. I would have shown a little bit of it, but I don't have those rights. Anyways, yeah. So I hope people found that interesting. And again, if there's some kind of event that President Biden is going to speak at, or former President Trump, and it's going to be an interesting event like this, I will certainly consider covering. All right. All right, guys, I think it's getting close to our time. So we cover all kinds of live news here. Agenda Free TV, subscribe and follow. I'll be keeping an eye on the weather situation tonight. It's possible we'll do a weather stream. I don't know, depending on what happens. But subscribe, follow. We cover all kinds of live breaking news without an agenda. I really appreciate you tuning into this, and also those of you who participated in the chat. So thanks. If I have updates, I will post them on my X account, which is @Lookner on X. You can follow me there for breaking news @Lookner on X. And subscribe, follow this channel. And turn on, I never know when big news is going to happen. I can't really tell you in advance what our schedule is going to be. It depends on when the news happens. But if you want to know when we're going live, a really great way to do that is to sign up for our free notifications. We've set up this whole notification system. You sign up, it's free. You sign up once, and then every time I go live, you get a message sent to you right before I go live saying, that we're going live to cover breaking news. So if you want to sign up for the Discord notifications, we do it through Discord. The link is going to be posted in the chat by our moderators, and it's in the description of this video on Facebook and YouTube as well. Hey, a huge shout out to our moderators for being here. We could not have chat rooms without our moderators. That is a huge part of this channel that we have chat rooms. Sarah 55, Linda Belk, Ruth Kafasi, all over there on YouTube. I really appreciate you being there. I know over on on Twitch, I got that fire. Papa Bear, Tariag, Sarah, LB Prairie Dawn, David Green, Big Ball of Yarn, thank you. I also owe a thank you on Twitch to Ma Florida for the gift subscription, Blue Pip for subscribing, Eat Bites 2 for subscribing. Thanks for your support on Twitch. And also over there on Facebook, I know Christina Neal was moderating, and also Kay Lowry Body was over there moderating. So appreciate all of our moderators. Thank you so much, mods. And Ronald Egnor as well, thanks. And Paul Anderson. And hey, thanks to everybody who donated as well. That's really nice of you. I missed, by the way, Tony Hartley Washington and Eve Richards. Thanks so much, Tony and Eve, for the Facebook stars. And thanks to everybody who donated. Your support is what allows this channel to exist. If you ever want to donate, you can go to agendafree.tv, agendafree.tv. And what else? Oh, we do have a Discord chat, which is also free. You can chat with other viewers when we're not on the air. And for the Discord chat, it's the same link as the Discord. It's a notification. So you can click on that notifications link and you can check out the Discord chat as well if you'd like. Thanks to our Discord mods too. Hey, another reminder, I do have a personal channel. You know, this is the news channel. This is my main channel. But sometimes I do some non-news live streaming. That is called Lookner on YouTube and Look Nerd with a D on Twitch. You can check that out if you'd like. And what else did I want to mention? If anybody's interested in being a volunteer moderator, that would be awesome. Sometimes there's a wait list for that, but you can ask our mods for more information. And a quick reminder, because it's kind of weird, if you do subscribe on YouTube, to turn on the YouTube notifications, you got to do this kind of funky thing where you have to click the notifications bell and turn on all. So this is on YouTube. If you subscribe, click that bell and choose all notifications. All right. I'm glad some of you thought it was interesting. And what else did I want to mention? Oh, I want to say thanks to our Facebook subscribers over there. Really appreciate your support, like Jim Murphy, Kay Lowry Body, Margaret Riley, Eve Richards, Lou Green, Christy Claft, Billy Joe Drage, Lacey Carter, Duster Singer, all of our Facebook subscribers, thank you. And our Twitch subscribers, you're awesome. Thank you for your support. Shaggy, Wall Street, Sarah, Blue Pip, and all of our other subscribers over there on Twitch, thank you. And our YouTube members, thank you so much for being members on YouTube. Marissa Pugliese, Eric Johnson, Mythical, Deb is here, Justin King, Buffalo Women, Mary McHugh, William Cromer, Blissful Essence, Jan Porter, Pony Boy, Matthew Felty, Shawnee Ann, Lee, Gemini Rose, Todd N, Amra, Sarah Connor, David Ferriello, and all of our other YouTube members. Thank you. The Ringa, PZ, Papa Zulu, Joe Hart, and others. All right, guys. That is it. We're going to wrap it up. We have been covering, Chromite was moderating too, and Cynthia Moon was moderating. Thank you so much. Larry also moderates for us on X. Thank you. So, again, wanted to cover it because really interesting scene. Former President Trump addressing the Libertarian Convention. Not a particularly friendly audience. Some supporters, a lot of people booing, some cheering. So thought it would be an interesting event to cover and show you that raw video so you could see it for yourself. All right, guys. So that is it. I'm going to wrap up this live coverage. And yeah, you know, as campaigns, I don't cover, as I said, I don't cover campaign speeches regularly. But if there's something particularly big or interesting, we may cover that here. All right, guys. So thank you for joining us. If there's big news later this weekend, I will be on the air. That's it for now. Thank you for watching, and we will. Thanks for watching, people like Spleenless Dave And yeah, I don't understand. You know, there's been 3 comments tonight where somebody says agenda-free ? So I don't know, like, so what's the agenda in showing this? It's a speech where a lot of people are booing Trump. I'm not commenting on the speech, telling you whether to like it or not. It certainly wasn't a friendly audience. Is there a really big agenda in showing that? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm sorry you think that the channel has an agenda by showing this particular event. I disagree with you. I respectfully disagree. Anyways, thanks to, I saw we had viewers in our chat, some who like Trump and some who don't like Trump. Star Walker, thanks for watching. Kimberly, Gabalden, Moist. I think it's an interesting news event. First time a major party candidate has addressed a Libertarian convention. Anyways, all right, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you guys. Very much appreciate you being here, and I'm sure we'll see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.